another Killer Planes video.
Down and Dirty. Tips and tricks for keeping your plane out of the shop. Starring Steve Dirty Hands.
Heute schieben wir einen Stab in ein Loch.
Okay, the hands are back, and here's another tip. Remember those little pieces of plastic you cut without cutting those fingers off? Well, now you can use them for stuff like this. We're going to locate the end of the spar that's in this wing already. It doesn't go all the way to the end, but we want to know where it points. So, what we do is we take a couple of those little pieces that we cut on our saw, we wrap the ends in tape so that we can build up the thickness of it so it'll stay in one of those holes. We keep the bottom where the bottom is, so the original bottom of our piece of plastic sits on the tube down in there. Okay, then we cut a strip of tape in half and we wrap it around the rod that we're going to put on top, and then we extend it down into the tabs that are already sticking up out of the wings made of the plastic that we wrapped with tape to thicken up on the base. And so we stick our little tabs in the little holes and we push them down to the tube, so we make sure that those tabs are all the way down there on the tube that's in the wing. And we put our tape down. Now we can eyeball where this rod wants to be pointed, and in this instance I can see the two holes, that one there and that one up there, so I can eyeball where the rod goes and then pencil in on the bottom where that eyeballs. Right, so I just go like this and like that, and then I should go straight down this direction away from this. So I want to make a center mark down here where my visual center is of the rod. Then you go from that mark to this center, and that is the line that your rod is going to be on in there. So that should be the top of your rod. And your rod, therefore, should be centered here, gents. And now we drill parallel with our rod. Now we are German because we are drilling, yeah? And now I find out what fits. 3.5, 4, 5. Let's start out with the fat one. See if that goes. That does not seem to want to go inside there. Let's try the 4. Yeah, baby. And you know, if these already know where they're going, you can make a drill bit out of it by just putting a chisel tip on it, and it'll cut through the foam really nicely. Now I take my rod because I'm betting a 4mm fits in here. It's an easy bet for me. I put one in the other wing. Because this is a Messerschmitt. I will fly to victory. But first I must add to my rods. I must have more power. I must have more strength in my plane. You don't understand, Otto? Strength is everything. Here we go. Now, I have twisted the little rod out through the end of the wing.
You're twisted.
Fräulein, is that you? I say, you are following me. This is good. First you are at the airfield, now you are in my secret shop. I have torn a little hole, so we make sure that we cut this to be neatly. And do a nice job, Hans. You see? Handy that Steve can blame this on someone else when everything is screwed up. Oh, Hans did it. Sure, Steve, that was you. Now we know that our rod goes from there to here, and we can mark this rod. And Hans has made this beautiful job. You know why it's beautiful? Because of German craftsmanship. Alright, and we pull the rod. Baby, it's a display of power. Now, 26 3/4. That's a good size for a rod. Let's cut 2 of them and we'll be happy and done. Now, you will go flying in your Messerschmitt and we will see you there. The Luftwaffe will fly again.
Hans, you're not done yet. You forgot to tell them about putting in the glue.
And so, to finalize this rod in the wing, you must put in the glue. Like the Fräulein has said, Liebchen, I love your glue. We put some glue in the rod, yeah, like this. And then we put the rod in the hole, like this. And then we work in the gluing. I feel this glue is good. We rub this glue in and out all over the inside of the tube. It's glue. All of these childish jokes about the gluing in the hole. But it feels so good. Alright, now the gluing is worked in the hole. And now we're working the tube in the glue. So we put the nice thin coat of the gluing.
Are you practicing safe gluing?
As a matter of fact, yeah. I will drop some water in here. And shaking it out from the other end. And then gluing and water onto this rod. Now the tube is installed in the tube. Make sure your angle is pointed in the right direction. And then you wait until the glue dries and monitor this expansion of the glue. And don't forget, we are putting this rod into the hollow end of the tubing and cut to make a solid end. And when you are done, you have the much stronger wing, especially if you put more rods in like we do. And there it is, and all of you two flying onto the flight line. Glue in and out all over the inside of the tube, and then how can you not tell that I am a man in need of love?